What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. And today we're going to be doing another ride review. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Help me hit my goal of 100 subscribers. Turn on notifications as I upload videos every day. If you want to help further support the channel, go ahead and smash the like button. Today we're going to be talking about a very, very popular ride that has been around for quite a while. Batman the Ride opened up in May of 1999, and here we are in friggin' April of 2021. So this ride is 22 years old, and this thing is still a beast. It's only a fool would say that it's not, because it's probably this is probably the ride that really made B&M B&M. This ride here, there's the SLC, the Batman. There's hundreds of clones all over the world of this ride. I do believe just about every Six Flags park has one of these, with the exception of Frontier City in Oklahoma. They have an SLC, but it's not a B&M. It's not a B&M Batman clone. To be honest, it's pretty meh, if you ask me. But that's for a different video. Batman the Ride came out in 1999. It was the original Batman the Ride. It came out, and there were times that this ride has actually ran the course backwards. And I keep saying on social media that Six Flags Over Texas needs to bring this back, because riding Batman the Ride backwards, that would be like hella fun. That's something I would do. It's something I want to do. The color scheming is pretty dope. It does need a new paint job, because this thing has needed a paint job for far too long. Anyway, the restraints are over the shoulder restraints. Not a big fan of over the shoulder restraints. Each train seats 32 people. It's got a chain lift hill with a height of only 105 feet. With 84.5 foot drop, reaching top speeds of 50 miles per hour, 5 inversions, and getting about 4 Gs. The best feature I think about this ride is probably the 0G rolls. There's about 3 0G rolls on each one of these, and each one of these is pretty quick. It kind of zaps you, and it's a good feature, but at the same time it kind of really dampens the ride, because you've got over the shoulder chest restraints. So if you're kind of not locked in good, it'll kind of throw you on the other side of the train, so to speak. It's pretty rough on the shoulders, which is why I'm not a big fan of over the shoulder restraints. But I understand it's a suspended looping coaster. You know, you can't really put lap bars on an SLC, but it happens though. But this ride, this is definitely general public versus different people, depending on what you like, depending on which it's going to be the best seat for you on this. Me personally, I think this is a back seat ride, especially on these types of rides, because the back seat seems to be a bit faster. There's absolutely no airtime in this ride because it's a suspended coaster. But aside from that, you get more speed, and more speed means more fun. If you like riding front seats, it's not bad in the front seat. It's actually pretty fast in the front seat as well. But the thing that really made a difference with this ride is we rode this ride for the first time last year, probably around this time of the year, and it was really, really fun. I think I rode this thing like 7 times in a row. It was a lot of fun, and that was running at like 50% capacity. So everything at Six Flags was a walk-on back then. And so we had never really gotten the opportunity to ride this ride when it was like at 100% capacity until like Holiday in the Park last year. We went to Holiday in the Park, we rode this ride, and this place was packed. And we got on the ride, and every single seat and everything was full. And I'm going to tell you, that thing was fucking hauling. And I was like, whoa, we got to do that again. We got to ride it in the back, see what happens. And I haven't left the back seat since then. Normally on these B&M rides, I tend to want to try to stay away from the back, because sometimes it can be a bit bumpy and a bit rough. But this ride is actually relatively smooth in the back. It doesn't really matter where you sit. It's going to be a pretty smooth ride either way. which is something that was really surprised to me, that a 22-year-old ride could give such a smooth experience. Because somebody said, "Oh, well, this ride's over 20 years old." I was like, "Oh shit, here we go. I'm gonna dislocate my neck or something. Here we go." But no, it was actually really smooth, and I was actually fairly impressed about how smooth the ride was. I know the one at Six Flags St. Louis was definitely not as smooth as the one at Six Flags Over Texas. But although the color scheming at Six Flags St. Louis is a lot better than the one at Six Flags Over Texas, because Six Flags St. Louis has the only black Batman ride. So if anybody from Six Flags is watching, when can we get some more of that? I mean, because you got the lamest park in the chain having the best looking Batman ride. So I think you should really think about different color scheming some of these rides here and there. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you guys think Six Flags should eventually, over the time, change some of their colors or some of the rides, like Batman, because easy fix, new paint color, boom, done. But anyway, I know Goliath at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, it's pretty much the same ride. That ride actually came from Six Flags New Orleans right after Katrina hit. They shut the park down, so that's where it came from. They repainted it and gave it a new name, Goliath. But pretty much the same ride, SLC, Batman clone, backseat ride there too. I like the layout of Six Flags Over Texas. It's definitely better than Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and it's definitely better than Six Flags St. Louis. Where you're going through the tunnels, well, it's not really tunnels, they're kind of like concrete paved ways where you've got like a hole of concrete and then you've got concrete on both sides, but it's almost like going like a downhill tunnel sort of thing, and it's pretty cool. The outside viewing, seeing everything that's in Gotham there at Six Flags Over Texas is definitely a lot better than at Fiesta Texas, where you're just seeing pretty much the parking lot. So it's definitely better on the theming and the outline. I can't really say so much for Six Flags Over Georgia because we haven't went there yet, but they look like it's going to be a pretty close race between which one has the better layout based on the theming of everything else and the surroundings around the ride. But I definitely really enjoy the outlay. When we go to Fiesta Texas and we ride, you go down and you make a right turn on your drop. When you're at Six Flags Over Texas, you go down and you make a drop to your left. When you're going up the lift hill at Batman at Over Texas, you also get a view of Freeze. So the views and everything on this ride is where I think is really awesome, and I think they did a really great job. The theming on this ride at Six Flags Over Texas is incredible. Like, it's top notch. They've got themed everything to Batman. If you go through the queue line and you don't skip it with the Flash Pass, that's when you get to see all the theming. They've got like the Batman theming. They've got old police cars. They've got a little Bat Cave. They went freaking crazy nuts, and they should have, because this is where the Batman the Ride actually came from, with Six Flags Over Texas back in 1999. So they did a really good job with the theming on this ride. The restraints are, but the rider operations are actually really good. I did make a vlog earlier this year where we went and I think I did the park review of Six Flags Over Texas, and I think I pretty much counted off for the ride because they were running one train, which is kind of unacceptable if you're running a high peak time and the park was completely packed. But normally they usually run 2 and even 3 trains. I've seen them run 3 trains on this thing, but normally they run 2 trains, so the wait time on this thing is actually not that bad because you can run 32 people on the train at a time. So you can relatively move about 64 people every, roughly, give or take, let's just say every 10 minutes. 64 people in 10 minutes. So you can do the math of how many people per hour. That's quite a lot of people. So the wait time on this ride is really not all that bad. If you want to get on it, you feel like riding it, you want to get on it right then, I'd recommend using a skip the line and a Flash Pass, because this line can get a bit long. It can definitely get pretty long. I've seen people wait in line 2.5, 3 hours. Anything over there in Gotham next to Batman and right next to Mr. Freeze is going to get a lot of attention. There's a lot of people with a lot of long lines over there in Gotham because you got a lot of good rides. You've got the Joker, you've got Catwoman Whip, you've got Riddler's Revenge, the Pendulum Ride, you've got Batman, you've got Freeze. So you've got a lot of top tier rides over there that people are going to wait hours to ride. So if you have Flash Pass and you want to ride this, I would definitely recommend using it for it. If I had to rate this ride, what would I rate it? This ride has actually been pretty consistent and pretty solid last year and this year alone. And now since Texas has pretty much opened up 100%, they're still enforcing the mask, but whatever. The ride runs pretty well. It runs very well. I'm going to give this ride a good 7.5. Give it a 7.5 because it's a pretty solid ride. I believe the theming is really good. I believe the speed is really good. The layout, all of it's a really good ride, and it's great. And the thing that surprises me the most is how smooth the ride is after 22 years. Texas Giant was up there. It was a wooden coaster, and that thing, before RMC came in, it took it to do that thing was like equivalent to having a kidney stone in your brain. Like, it was rough, you know. But this one, the complete opposite. Really old coaster, but still really, really smooth. And it's a lot smoother than some of the newer SLCs that are out there. So that's what's really surprising and really shocking. All right, man, that's going to do it. 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a really good ride. If you guys go to Six Flags Over Texas, definitely recommend riding it. You're probably planning on riding anyway. You've probably heard about it. So 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10, man. Thank you guys so much for walking. And if you would, please hit the like button. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.